What's up, guys, and welcome to the Two Banks of Five podcast. The round 15 fixtures are done, and it didn't go so well this week. 5 picks out of 10. Burnley win 4-1. I picked Manchester City. Crystal Palace 1-0 over Bournemouth. I picked a draw on that, and the fact that Crystal Palace were down to 10 men in the 19th minute, it really shouldn't have been a loss for Bournemouth. Liverpool 5, Everton 2. That was an easy pick for me. Liverpool all the way. Wolves winning at West Ham 2-0. I picked a draw on this one. I thought that West Ham were going to have a bit of a resurgence after Chelsea win, but unfortunately they didn't. That's another loss. Southampton 2, Norwich 1. I picked Southampton in this game, and I'm glad I did. Danny Ings is on fire. Thinking about putting him in my fantasy team. But we'll look at the fixtures next week. United Spurs. United win 2-1 at Spurs. I'm so shocked about this one. I'll talk a bit about in my preview about United City, but I really thought that United were going to lose and it was going to be a Mourinho masterclass. But I didn't really take into account the fact that all those United players were going to be up for it as well. So Leicester 2, Watford 0. I picked that one. Leicester to win, pretty obvious. Chelsea 2, Villa 1. I picked that to win. I think I wasn't sure, but as soon as Tammy was back, I had to go Chelsea, and he showed it again why he's probably, besides Vardy, the best striker in the league at the moment. Today's fixtures. Newcastle 2, Sheffield 0. I don't get Newcastle. I do not understand. It's Sheffield either. They don't concede a lot of goals. They conceded 2. A clean sheet for Newcastle. Even at Bramall Lane, that's a tough ground. That is a tough ground to go. Again, Newcastle away from home are really good this season. I'll come back to why I think that's the case. But yeah, I thought Newcastle, they have a championship squad. They just got rid of Benitez. I just can't believe that. Anyway, another result I can't believe. Brighton 2, Arsenal 1 at the Emirates. So this was the 5th incorrect result I've picked this weekend. So 50%, yeah, it's alright, but oh mate, I just can't. They're in real trouble at the moment, Arsenal. They need to appoint a new manager very quickly who has a philosophy and has an idea. If I was Arsenal right now, I would get Rafa Benitez in straight away. I think they need a manager who's defensively sound, who can make a tight, compact unit, and who can keep goals from getting in. Rafa Benitez would be great. And the longer Arsenal wait, I think the longer it's going to hinder them in the top 4 race. Are they out of it? The top 4? I don't know. How far are they off top 4? Let's just have a quick buzz. They're on 19 points, so they're 10 points off the top 4. Look, I think they're already out of the top 4. And what's best for them, I think, would actually be to not make Europa League football. To stay outside the Europa League and just to be able to focus on week-to-week Premier League action next season and make a run for that top 4. I think from Spurs up, so Spurs, United, Wolves, Chelsea, City, Leicester, Liverpool, they're top 4 contenders. Palace are in there, but I don't think they're a top 4 contender this season. I think they're going to drop off very soon. But then again, they have Watford at the weekend, so maybe not. So guys, look, I'm going to get into predicting this week's fixtures. So last week wasn't too great. this week, I'm hoping to get more than 5. I think 5 is acceptable because obviously law of averages, if you get 5 out of 10, you're all right half of the time. In hindsight, the only one I'd probably change my pick for going into the weekend, I would have probably picked, if I did a bit more look into Wolves, I think I would have picked Wolves over West Ham. So the other ones I was pretty sure they were going to come off. So this weekend, the first fixture, Everton, Chelsea, Goodison Park. Marco Silva just sacked. What's forward for Everton right now? You just know they're going to appoint a Moyes or an Allardyce again. Just someone to steady the ship and to get them back into... They'll probably finish top 10 or 11th or whatever, like they always do. The amount of money they're putting into this club, new stadium, all that. They really should be around your Wolves and your Leicesters and all those clubs. And unfortunately, not for me, but for them, they're just not doing it. I've got to go Chelsea, though. Tammy's back. He's scoring. He's going to go into my fantasy team, definitely this weekend. So I'm going to go Chelsea win there. I should really write this down, because I'll probably forget. And we don't. Let's move all this shit. Chelsea win. Next up, Liverpool, Burnley. Not even going to talk about it. Liverpool win. Will it be... Liverpool, Bournemouth. At the Vitality, though. Bournemouth's away form's been rubbish this season, but I think they're a good pressing side, Bournemouth. But as we saw against Everton, Liverpool very easily can break the press with balls over the top. I expect to see a full-strength side back. I would love to see... Maybe not Salah, actually. I think he's still recovering from that injury, and maybe he should have a bit more time off to heal that ankle. They're draining it every game, apparently, so definitely give him a rest. We'll need him against Salzburg. I would like to see... maybe not Origi. I know Origi's been absolutely amazing. I would maybe go Shaqiri from the right. Actually, no. A 4-2-3-1. Divock up front. Firmino behind. On the left, Mane, and on the right, Shaqiri, with Henderson and Wijnaldum holding. That would be my pick. That would look really good. Liverpool win, Spurs, Burnley at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm going to have to go Spurs. I think Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood are hard to deal with, but I think Spurs will have too much. I think, though, as a man who's captained Harry Kane for 3 weeks, even triple captained him, he needs to stop dropping so deep. I think they're missing him in that final third. He's one of the most clinical strikers in the league, and he's dropping so deep. And maybe that's what Mourinho wants, him dropping deep, picking up the ball and turning and allowing Dele Alli to run on into those channels. And maybe the idea is Harry Kane will bring out a defender. But for me, they're just losing that clinicalness in the box from not having him there. And it really pisses me off when, you captain someone and they just don't go off. So, yeah. Spurs win. Watford, Palace at Vicarage Road. Look. Can Schlupp do it again? I'm gonna be brave here, and I'm gonna go a Watford win. They need it. They desperately need it. From what I heard, they weren't too bad against Leicester. It was 1-0 until the last minute. I heard they didn't have a shot on target all game, or all second half, so maybe that's a bit crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna go Watford. City United, Etihad Stadium. City can't afford to drop any points ever, as long as Liverpool are winning. I saw a great picture this morning on Instagram. Instagram's your one-stop shop for football facts. Solskjaer hasn't lost a Big Six fixture this year. Beat Chelsea twice, including that thumping. Drew at Liverpool. Beat Spurs. And drew at Arsenal. I mean, so he has a way of getting the boys up for these fixtures. I also read something this morning that United aren't looking to change their coach or be rash because they're waiting for Guardiola and Klopp to leave. It sounds a bit weird anyway. United are good in these fixtures, but I think, and I'll be happy if I'm wrong, but I'm going to go Manchester City. Especially last year, I thought Manchester Derby, maybe we were going to get some favours from United for once, but they never do us any favours. So, yeah, I'm going to say definitely Manchester City. Okay, next up, Villa Leicester at Villa Park. I think this where it gets a bit tough. Leicester are on fire. They've won 6 now in a row, 5 or 6 in a row. Villa are a decent side. I rate Jack Grealish, and I think Wesley's good at holding the ball up. This either has a draw or Leicester just winning easily all over it. Because Villa won't. I don't think Villa will sit in at home. They'll try and catch Leicester on the break, and that will leave space for Leicester in behind for Jamie Vardy, Barnes, Perez, and such. If I'm wrong, I'll be happy, but I gotta go with Leicester. I think Villa are going to afford them too much space to move with the ball, which is going to hurt them in the end. Newcastle Southampton at St James's Park. I'm hoping for a Southampton win again. I think they can do it. I know Newcastle are on good form, but I think the one thing about Newcastle at home is, especially against a side like Southampton, the fans are not going to appreciate them sitting back and soaking up the pressure and countering them on the break. And I think that hurt. I think Newcastle are definitely a side who do better from holding tight and getting teams on the break. Southampton, they've had 7 out of 9 points. So both these teams are in relatively good form. One of my good mates is a Southampton fan, and I hope for him that Southampton can do it. I'm going to stick with Southampton. Probably a silly choice. I just think these are the types of results Newcastle don't get. Norwich and Sheffield United at Carrow Road. I'm going to have to go Sheffield in this one. Brighton Wolves. I spoke about Wolves this week. Brighton just coming off a win against Arsenal. It is at the Amex, but I think Wolves will have too much. I think last year my friend put a multi on. And I picked Wolves to win. And it was the only one that didn't come off out of all the 10 games. And it was Glenn Murray who scored. So I'm hoping for a bit of retribution here. And last but not least, probably least, West Ham, Arsenal. I do not know what to do here. I don't know. So far I picked Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, Watford, City, Leicester, Southampton, Sheffield, Wolves. I'm going to go a draw. Both teams aren't in form, and I just think that maybe there will be a draw. We'll just have a quick look, just see if I change my mind. I'm pretty happy with most of those, but the Premier League, anything can happen. So we'll see. We'll see over the weekend. If there's any absolutely unbelievable results when I'm absolutely pissed, Sunday morning, you might get a video. Otherwise, Sunday afternoon, we will have a nice review on the Premier League so far. And obviously Tuesday morning, following the West Ham Arsenal game, we can reflect back on the results and maybe look at some Champions League football. The Champions League's pretty much done. Liverpool still have to get a result at Salzburg, so we'll look at that. Same with Napoli at Genk. I think they're the only group that's pretty much still going. And then we'll go all again for more Premier League action. Next weekend will be good as well. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.